welcome back for our Heart of the High Plains series. I'm Princess Brian, and today I'm joined with James from Transformation Park. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so first let's talk about Transformation Park. When did it officially open in the community?
Okay, we opened in April, the end of April, beginning of May. We opened in two different phases. We opened the cabin community with 25 residents, got them in for a couple weeks, then added some more, and then just slowly built up and filled the 45 cabins there. And then we, I can't even remember the date. It was in May, middle of May, May 21st maybe. We opened the Safe Space, which is kind of an emergency shelter. It's anybody can come and go. We started out with a 50-person cap, and I think we had 50 people before noon, pretty much. I mean, it was pretty quick. We sat there, worked out some kinks at the 50, staying at max every day. We had, you have some people that they get there and it's not their thing. They didn't like it. They had some other options that they chose to take, but there would be somebody on the waiting list to come right in that as soon as they could.
Yeah.
We have slowly gone up to 75 as our cap.
Okay.
We were at 70 with 5 extra for, emergency drop-offs from like APD, first responders. The behavioral health hospitals are a hospital that just didn't have an option for somebody in the middle of the night. And so we kept 5 spots open for that. And we just really had those full all the time. We were trying to get to where we can add more, and we're really working to make that happen.
Yeah.
But when we do that, we want to make sure we're doing that safely.
Yeah.
We don't want to just rush it and do something that could set us back. So we started off in the Safe Space. We would give them cot, pillow, blankets.
Yeah.
That was during the summer. We were battling heat. We were working on keeping them cool. And, you can get real hot and it's uncomfortable, but right now with the cold, it's a different factor. It can kill you. I mean, it's cold out there. So we've really been working pretty hard to make sure we're keeping everybody as comfortable as possible. And some of them, it might not be the most comfortable, but it's keeping you alive. So that's really what we're trying to do, keep people alive right now.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You mentioned that you guys have cabins, but you also have your safe space.
Yes.
So tell me about the 2 different spots and how that differs from like the traditional shelters that you see.
Okay. So the cabins are a 70 square foot cabin. It has a bed. You have a desk. You have heat and air in there.
Yeah.
We have our own little, it's like a KOA. We have the cabins around the center is where we have the bathrooms, showers, laundry, break room, the facilities that they use there. So the cabins don't have plumbing. They don't have some of those things, so they have to go to that central location to utilize those.
Okay.
That's kind of a program that we use, and they do residents giving back. It's where we are working with them to give them tasks, to give them jobs within the shelter, and sometimes it's out at our kitchen at our feeding, where we prepare the meals for our feeding ministry, and but they get to do that work, and that is with an intention of giving them job skills that help them to maybe get a job. To build up that confidence that they can sustain a shift and do that. And then also it's when they do get their own place, like some of them that are doing break room cleanup or restroom cleanup, they're practicing, so when they move to their own place, they have good skills of keeping their place clean.
Yeah. And you kind of touched on it. These residents, they need the help, but they're also willing to work for the help as well. Tell me about seeing that at Transformation Park.
So I have some guys, some of my residents there that are my workhorses that will try to outwork me. They really when I need something done. We were getting some furniture donations from Centacor when they were shutting down their inpatient part, and it was
Yeah.
like we have all this stuff. So I took some guys, and man, they worked hard. It
Yeah.
was like pretty impressive. But all along, we've had they choose to come and help you. They're always volunteering. Hey, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
Even in the safe space, we have guys in there that are like, hey, I'm going to do trash duty. I'm going to do serving. So when the meal comes in the evening, they help serve. They do that. We kind of keep track of it so that we're aware of who is helping and who is doing that. And that helps later on when we have a vacancy in a cabin.
Yeah.
We can look at everybody, the ones that were like, hey, this person has really stepped up and they're staying out of the drama. They're doing all the right things, working to get their paperwork that they need to get identification, job ready, and that will give them a kind of an opportunity to get on that list to get into a cabin.
Yeah. And let's talk about homelessness in Amarillo because this is another shelter opening. But like you mentioned, you guys filled that need up pretty quickly. So there is a need in the area. Let's talk about that need.
So if we could, I would love to have about 300 beds
Yeah.
that we could have full at our park, but that's not reality. It's just not safe right now. I know there are some beds available at different shelters, but kind of one thing that I've been looking at as winter has hit. Last year, we weren't open, but we did have a feeding ministry. So we kind of partnered along with Amarillo Housing First and Code Blue Operations, and they were we would do a meal for them because we were like, hey, a hot meal is really good for warming you up, making you feel comfortable and stuff like that. So every night, but except for maybe 2 nights, I got to go serve over there, and I got to meet a lot of the residents that I have now that were utilizing that space, and they would come in. There would be a gap between when the resource center closed and when the Code Blue could open, and so they, that gap, they'd just sit there and get kind of cold and wet. And one of the things that I've noticed that is pretty neat is a lot of those guys and ladies that were utilizing that last year are living in our shelter right now, and they look like they're doing a lot better. They're thriving a lot better. They're not getting so cold, warming up, getting wet and damp. I mean, they're staying able to shower, utilize the facilities, and that's pretty cool because hopefully that takes a load off. The sad part is they repopulate. I mean, it's like there's people out there.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot to try to help. The continuum of care here in Amarillo, all the agencies are working together to try to help manage, just get the help out there. But man, there's a reality that it's really tough out there.
Yeah. And have you guys, well, I know this is your first year of the park being open, but has homelessness gone up from your point of view or working with this group compared to other years? Or do you think it's about the same when it comes to this group?
So it's really hard for me to kind of tell now because before I could be out a little bit more in the public, but now I'm really kind of isolated with my view as the shelter and what's around it. And we have had, I wish I had the number of how many individual residents that we've had through there because We've had some flow through. We've had some that came in that were stranded from the bus and waiting on the ticket that was next week or whatever.
Yeah.
So we've had some of those. So those aren't really the numbers that we'd look at, but I don't think it's gone down.
Yeah.
I think it has, but that's me just knowing my little world right now at
Right.
Transformation Park.
Yeah.
But at the Resource Center, they said once we opened, their numbers kind of went down, but here lately, they're back to what they were prior to us opening. So
Yeah. And let's talk about the park. It hasn't even been a year.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are already seeing so many stories when it comes to these residents.
yes.
Tell me a few of the residents that came through.
We've had some residents that we met while we were prepping to open, and
Yeah.
they ended up getting cabins. A couple of them had been staying at Salvation Army. Their time was kind of coming up there. They got into a cabin. One of the things I would stress to them is, if you have a place, unless you're guaranteed a cabin with us, don't move out of that place. If you're functioning and working well at Salvation Army, use all the time you can there, and don't give it up unless you get a cabin. Kind of that. One of the stories, Billy, he's a success story. He just moved in.
Yeah.
Hardly saw him because he would come in from work and then go to his cabin, do his thing, get ready for work the next morning, leave. Billy was working I think he tries to keep 2 jobs at a time, but he ended up getting a job at Sam's, and every time I'd go in there, I'd see him, and just the smile on his face, just him just being a hard worker and taking pride in that piece. And man, it wasn't that long that he got his own place and moved out. And we text and I talk to him, and he's supposed to come and start, maybe working some shifts.
Yeah.
For his second job, but I think he just keeps getting other jobs. He's a worker, but he has his one steady job and some smaller jobs. We've had several people go off to recovery that are doing well, still continuing to stay in their journey of recovery.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting to see those guys do that, and it's pretty organic. Them going. We don't force them to go to rehab or recovery or any of those things, but those conversations happen. I have 23 years clean myself, and I participate in Celebrate Recovery, and so that's part of my story and that's part of my journey. So I can share that with the residents that there is hope afterwards, and it's not easy, but there is hope, and that's kind of where some of the guys when they hear that, all of a sudden it's like they look at me, and then there's a level of maybe trust that builds from those relationships. But and that's it, really.
Yeah.
I said that word, relationships. That's what we're doing. A lot of it is just building relationships with some of these guys and some of the ladies, just trying to restore hope in them that they are humans. We're treating them like humans, and that they're cared for.
Yeah.
And we know they have the tools, but what can we do to walk alongside you to help that out?
Yeah, and certain people, when they see people experiencing homelessness, they have these assumptions that kind of come behind it.
Yes.
But like you mentioned, they're human at the end of the day. They have their own personal stories.
Yes.
Tell me how those assumptions don't even kind of cover the surface of these residents.
The one that we talked a little bit earlier, hard work, that's not always the case. Sometimes it's a matter of they don't have the paperwork to get it. Whatever happened, they lost it somehow. It's a really challenging thing to get some of that stuff back if you don't have your birth certificate, if you don't have an ID or Social Security and stuff like that. And everybody has their own story. That's what I like to say.
Yeah.
go talk to that person, meet that person. Yes, we have a lot of mental illness. We have that. We have some struggles there. And we try to plug them into the different agencies that help or get them the help they need if they're willing to get that help. We have addictions. We have some self-medicating of whatever it is that they're battling.
Yeah.
But I don't see that hard work is the issue. It's sometimes they just don't know how to channel that work or channel to get the job that they can do.
Yeah.
It's unaware of some of the services that are out there for them. And we really try to plug in and work with other agencies to get our people jobs.
Yeah.
We work. We have some of our residents that we employ ourselves to do some things at the front desk. Overnight security, we contract security out, but we have a resident that's doing their RGB and getting paid to be the assistant to the security guard.
Yeah.
And that way it helps de-escalate. It helps, they know the people, they can, help just inform the guard of, hey, this person does have some mental illness. That's not when they say y'all, it's not y'all, it's y'all somewhere that they're dealing with. So don't take things personally. Work to de-escalate, and just we're here to keep people safe and keep them alive, and we're not here to kick people out.
Yeah.
We just want everybody to get along inside and make things work.
Yeah, and talking about partnership with different agencies, you guys also work with Guy on Saunders. Tell me, where is that? What does that kind of look like for you guys at the park?
So there's a whole lot of changes coming up that at the beginning of the year, we're hoping to have what we are calling the hub ready. It was a warehouse. We're having restrooms made or put in. We're doing everything to get it up to code so that we could have assembly in there, which is have people there.
Yeah.
And that's going to be and we're calling it the hub. We don't want to call it a day center because
Right.
there's going to be times that it's open later. And it's the hub of where everything is going to happen. So we really thought the Joe and Laura Street Center was going to be built prior to, we went to that groundbreaking, and then next thing you know, the shelter's getting built, and that was taking a little bit longer. And so we have this shelter, and we have really not a whole lot of facility for them to go to do programming right now. So the ones that can get to the Guy on Saunders, they'll get over there. They utilize that a lot. But some of them that have less mobility, they're there. And so trying to find a place to make that work where it's, some of the programming, you want it to be a little more private. You want it to have some, just not right in the middle of a whole group, So working on doing that, it's been really tough with just the shelter that was made to just be a shelter, not a day center or not a place of congregation other than shelter. So when we get the hub up and running, the Guy on staff, they're going to become Transformation Park staff over at the hub. Guy on will cease to exist as far as the Tyler Street building. That's been sold for a couple of years, and they've just kind of allowed the lease until something can happen, more of that. But then after the hub, the street center will be built and completed across the street from us. That's when it's going to be so nice. It's going to be a place across the street for people to go to do programming, to get the food, to get classes, just all the needs that we've been lacking right now just because of we've had to have people come in and use like picnic tables and stuff. We'll actually have a space for it. We'll have a classroom for groups and stuff. So that's going to be good. So the timeline is the first of the year, the hub, and then hopefully by this time next year we'll have the street center going, and the future looks kind of promising as far as the services that we can get. And then that's a place where we can have other agencies come in and utilize a space, so if there is a mobility issue that they can come in and work with the residents and the folks there.
Yeah, and talk about being that central location for all this, where it is that kind of one-stop shop for all of them, so they could find out what agencies they have available, they could get that shelter and all the programs and stuff.
It's going to change some of it because we still have shelters that are functioning that are doing a lot that go to Guyon. But with us being there for us, it's going to be that space where like everything can happen. I mean, all the positive things that we're needing, we can start programming that.
Yeah.
Like I'm the director of programming, but it's been so hard to do programming with a limited space. I mean, the programming will look different once that's open. The programming we're doing now is the RGB, the different things like that. But actually get some meetings in there for people that are in recovery, some mental health stuff coming through there.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, this is your first winter with the park being open, so we'll talk about that and kind of the winter needs that you guys see. Welcome back. I'm still joined with Transformation Park. This is your first winter for the park. How are you guys preparing for the winter?
So the way it was designed, we have a warehouse area that has heaters in there. It has roll-up garage doors. We have that situated. I think I said earlier, we started with cots.
Yeah.
We can't really move out because of the space, so we're moving up. So we brought in and we went ahead and got some bunk beds, spent some money and shifted that direction so that we could have more people utilize that area. We have a covered area that works great during the summer, but during the winter it's kind of challenging. So we've came in and put some event tents up that we have bunk beds in those. One's a little bigger than the other. I think it has 18 beds in it. The other has probably 14 beds in. And then we have another big tent that we use as a serving tent for where we serve food. We also have a kind of a sitting area where we put a TV in there for kind of during the day to give people an area to hang out that's enclosed a little bit. They are tents. They are hard to keep warm. So that's been the focus, keeping them warm. So we use the heaters from the warehouse to try to heat the tents because they're butted up to the doors. And that's been the challenge. That's been the giving them heat, but doing it in a way that's safe. And we've rattled around all kinds of options, and we have some patio heaters that we use, and that was becoming there's a cost in keeping the propane tanks full, and so just when that wasn't necessarily in the budget, trying to get that, and we had reached out to the one of our friends reached out to the community, if somebody had an extra propane tank or something that was just sitting around, we could utilize it. We're just this year trying to survive this. I think next year we'll have a better setup. I keep thinking we could do industrial insulated curtains on the awning to enclose that whole area and get rid of the tents, and that way it keeps the heat in. Kind of like restaurants that have a patio area we'll use sometimes. We're just trying to figure that out. It was something that we knew was going to happen, but just it's challenging.
Yeah. And how can the community help you guys? What kind of donations or needs do you guys need? Especially in the winter? Okay,
so gloves, blankets, coats. They've been getting coats. Some of them have been getting coats. There's been, right now's a good time of year because I think Saturday there's a Christmas in the Park that's going to go on at Elwood Park. They have stuff that helps people stay warm. We're encouraging our residents to go to any kind of a place where they do that. One of the committees of the COC put together a kind of a list of people that were doing things for Thanksgiving, a resource list of where you can go if this place was giving away coats, if this place is giving away bags or blankets, gloves. Right now, this is the time of year that there's a lot of really generous people out fixing goodie bags with gloves and stuff like that. And those things are great. That helps. Hopefully, our residents can maintain those a little bit better now that they have a place that they can store that stuff a little bit. I know in the past, last year I'd run across people and they would wear a jacket until it was just pretty much destroyed, like wet, because it gets wet and it's it's real hard to maintain your stuff. You don't have a place where you can just go do laundry. Hopefully what we're providing our residents is a place that they can get their laundry done, and they can, if they get that nice jacket, they can keep it throughout this winter season.
And also with the winter comes the pit count that the city puts on.
Yes.
Tell me, how are you guys partnering with the city to get people who are experiencing homelessness those shelters?
That's a really huge thing that we're really working. We had our COC board meeting today, and the volunteer list is really low right now. We're going to be partnered as the shelter, but I think we're going to get our volunteers to be a part of some teams that go out and do that and just promote that and the awareness that we need help on that. And the better we do, the better, the more accurate the count is, and the more that we could potentially qualify for this area for support. So that's thank you for asking that question, because that was a hot topic today. We need more volunteers. We need people that, and there's so many levels of how you can do it. If you're a new volunteer, you're not going to be put out on the front line of it, but the support that's needed is huge, and anybody can help. And I just reach out to the community development department of the city. There's a flyer out there. I'll see if I can get it to you. And just that awareness would be great.
And you kind of touched on it, getting the snapshot of homelessness that's seen that supports you guys and actually goes back to the funding. Tell me how that kind of works for you.
So with HUD, every community has to have a continuum of care. That's where all the agencies that are working with homelessness, impoverishment, just housing, just mental health, recovery, they all meet, and we try to make sure everybody is to fill the gaps, make sure we're not missing something somewhere.
Yeah.
And if somebody's doing something well, that we're plugging people into that, and then vice versa, and everybody's just working together as a team. Even though we all do something different and do it in a different way,
Yeah.
doesn't mean we can't link arms and try to do better at supporting our unhoused neighbors here in Amarillo.
And finally, you already touched on it, but tell me again, how can the community support you guys and what you guys are doing over at the park?
Okay, mytransformationpark.com. We just finished our giving.
Yeah.
The Panhandle Gives.
Yes.
We had a goal of $250,000. We reached, before amplification, I think $121,000. I think we're $77,000 shy of what. So we're really pushing year-end giving, trying to get that. But that's one of the new things about being in a nonprofit is asking for money, and we have to do a lot of that. And we have some very generous donors, and we have a 20,000 strong, and that's kind of this thing that we're like, can I get 20,000 of my closest friends to donate $10 monthly? That would cover operations, that would cover programming costs, that would cover so many things to help this mission thrive. And so it's not cheap running a shelter 24/7. There's a lot that goes into it. We have a great team. We have a lot of great volunteers. That's the other thing. If you feel led to volunteer, reach out to go to mytransformationpark.com. Look us up on Facebook. You can see a lot of our stories there. But time, money, and prayer is what we ask for, and maybe not in that order. Prayer first, because we need help, and this getting the message out is great.
Yeah. All righty. I think that is everything. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.